My name is Daniel Rathwell. I'm at the Office for Investment, which is a unit headquartered out of the UK Prime Minister's Office, which looks at how we construct strategic investment partnerships in exciting technologies in areas around the world. Obviously, AI infrastructure being one of the key themes of the day. So I think the last presentation was a really excellent exploration of one of the critical and more visible layers of artificial intelligence. So this is the foundation and application layer. I think what we'll try to do in this session is to essentially delve deeper underground into the infrastructure of artificial intelligence and where computation is actually produced, and explore some of the contestations, collaborations, and geopolitics of that really fundamental and foundational layer. I'd like to explore three themes. So I think the first theme is AI as this strategic infrastructure, right? This infrastructure which is now of incredibly high importance to nation states and to countries. The second is around governance and trust of this infrastructure. So this is around how we perhaps work collectively to build out ecosystems starting from this infrastructure, which can be trusted by people, by citizens, by countries, and internationally as well. And then thirdly, focusing a bit more on this arena of contestation and collaboration, but particularly looking at bright sparks of collaboration, for example, in the critical area of human capital and other areas where there are real opportunities to work together on new paradigms of this infrastructure. So I've already spoken too much. Very pleased to allow the panelists to introduce themselves, starting with Justin.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Justin Floyd. I'm the CEO and founder of a company called Red Cloud. We're building intelligent infrastructure for global trade before it goes dark. I'm also and I serve on the board of the AI Foundation in Washington because I believe both building trust and speed shouldn't be mutually exclusive from each other.
The sort of second theme that I spoke about was around trust and governance, right? So this is about how we build out and govern AI's infrastructure stack so it's trusted by all segments of society. I alluded to the announcements made by Qatar yesterday at this forum. Trust was a key thematic there. So Justin, you're both a company builder and a responsible AI champion, as you've said in your opening remarks. How do you see the role of trust within this infrastructure stack?
Well, first of all, I would start off by saying that trust is the product, it's not just a feature. And while we all rush headlong into AI, and I've been around AI, machine learning now for over 3 decades, this is my 4th technology infrastructure play, I have, I think, a reasonable level of understanding of what we're facing. And so whilst there's all this excitement and furore around AI and the kind of incredible kind of leaps and bounds that are being made, at the same time, we need to be extremely careful of what we're building on. And we can't build on quicksand. So the data's key, and people have to trust in the data, and they have to be able to know that that data that's making, at times, life-informing decisions for them is data that they can trust. One of the reasons, actually, I joined the board in Washington, the AI board, headed up by Elizabeth Moyer, when she originally articulated her vision to me around trust. It was something that I believed in for a very long time, and so I was very happy to have the opportunity to work with her on it. So trust is key.
Amidst this geopolitical contestation over the stack, if I can call it that, how, and someone at the forefront of that from a commercial layer as well, how do we keep AI's potential to augment human capabilities and aspirations at the center of the frame?
Well, perhaps I can talk from my own field of experience. So my business is about bringing AI to global trade, in particularly global fast-moving consumable goods trade. So these are otherwise known as the supply chain. And today the supply chain is frankly on fire. Over $2 trillion every single year is burnt through waste, through lack of data, through lack of collaboration, through lack of construction, of availability of critical information flow. So when we talk about AI, it's such a generalized term, and we talk a lot about, a lot of these kinds of different buzzwords, but when you distill it down, as you just quite rightly pointed out, the concept of AI has been around since the 16th century, since the invention of the calculator. Claude Shannon, who's a man I had tremendous admiration from, really propelled machine learning and AI thinking into the so-called industrial revolution. Some of the things you just talked about just now around human capital, this has been around for the last 10,000 years. And so the challenges around global trade and the infrastructure that now is frankly just collapsing, and it will continue to denigrate over the next decade. For me, this is the most critical component around AI and around trust and the ability to actually bring nations together. And we all know what's been happening recently around trade tariffs and where trust breaks down irrevocably. This is where I think artificial intelligence and machine learning in particular plays not only a critical part, but it's actually going to be the destination for humanity over the next 2 decades.
Excellent. Yes, and as someone who is a student of the history of AI, I'm glad you mentioned Claude Shannon. I'm glad we've sort of brought that thematic back in, because I believe we can learn a lot from the past, and we can get a broader sense of perspective
Remarkable, man.
to offset some of the hype.
Global trade is where, of course, the biggest collaboration not only will take place, but has to take place. And I think we live in a world now where, and I think, again, the recent events will have made it very clear to everybody what happens when there is a breakdown of collaboration amongst countries. So I think AI and data in particular will play a predominant part in that kind of level of collaboration that's going to happen between nations.
Yeah. Justin.
Whoever builds trust, that will be the winner in AI. Whoever is able to build the foundation of trust, and Qatar's a great example of that over recent events, of a nation that's capable of doing that. Whoever builds that trust will be the winner. I'll give you 2 very specific, very brief examples. One is Bloomberg. Bloomberg built trust in financial trading, which didn't exist before Bloomberg built that infrastructure. And Google was the second. We trust it every day with searches. Yeah. So whoever builds that layer of trust will be the winner.
Thank you. Really poignant points to finish. I'm glad no one said that super powerful AI will control the future of AI. I'm very happy no one is of that view. But thank you very much. I thought that was a very interesting discussion. I will leave the moderator to decide whether we have time for questions. The answer is no, I'm afraid. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope that was a useful discussion. I'm glad of the ending we got to it. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.